And we are now live. Welcome back, everybody. We're building a puzzle again for the 5th time. It's the same puzzle, we haven't moved on, but on the bright side, I think I know where the rest of these pieces go. So this should actually be an extremely short one. I see hair-raising narratives on our chat, and I see idiotic synergy. And I'm joined today by everybody's favorite girl, Dareinger.
Hello.
And everybody's scariest Stormy, Scary Stormy.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
welcome everybody, and thank you for stopping by on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is 50 degrees here in Texas, but the place where I live is really, really crazy in that we can have literally every season in 1 week, and that's just the way that works.
So you live in Indiana, is what you're telling me.
Right.
Texas, Indiana, yes.
It's currently 37, and like last week, it was like in the 80s.
Yeah.
One thing that I should mention is that the camera is now in focus. Something that I figured out is that if I aim the camera at my face, it autofocuses perfectly. So the camera just wanted to get a look at my handsome self, is what it was.
Wouldn't focus on IP because IP doesn't have a nose, I bet.
Probably not, yeah. And this is the one playmat that I mentioned that whenever I got back into the game, they were like, hey, would you like a playmat? And I said, sure. So they gave me this one that said, like, World Championship Qualifier 2020.
World Star.
World Star.
And I've just been like, yeah, I absolutely 100% earned that. No, this is intentional.
Oh yeah, I've got like I don't think it's a WCQ, but I know it's like a regional. I want to say something like that. But
Yeah.
it's like it's an ABC playmat that's got like the ABC pieces, Galaxy Soldier, Photon Thrasher, back when those were like the gadgets, back when those were like the cards you would play in the deck.
Yeah.
But it was a top 8 mat that I got at a horror convention.
At a horror convention.
Yeah, they had like it was in Indianapolis, and in one of the card shops in Indianapolis, Guardian Games. They have typically will have a booth at like almost all of the Indiana conventions.
Nice.
And they were there, and I saw that, and I was like, ah, yes, I definitely earned the top 8 spot for this playmat.
I want to say hi to PA Nightmares. He says, hello, Brad, Drainage, and Stormboy.
Brad, Drainage, and Stromboli.
And Stromboli? Oh, he did say Stromboli.
Oh, no, Dareinger said Stromboli.
Oh.
If we're going to autocorrect everyone's name, gotta purposely call him something different.
Yeah, I liked it. It was Brad, Drainage, and Stormy.
Yo. So here's something that I wanted to do here because Stormy, you weren't here for like that other time where we had these questions, and
Yeah.
you know, like Dareinger got to tell his clutch story where he gamma sealed you twice. So I want to hear what Stormy's what's it called clutch story is. Yes.
It was actually a relatively recent duel, actually. So we're playing me playing Live Twin, and Dareinger playing Lyrilisk. And I went to go get food, and I was like, okay, I trust you. Go ahead and play your stuff out. Play your combo out. I've got no hand traps. Do it. And so I walk away to go order food, and I come back, and they've got the one Lyrilisk Xyz that makes it to where when you summon a monster, it bounces, like special summon a monster, it'll bounce it.
Yeah.
Or it can bounce it back. And then the other F-Zero Draconic Future or whatever it is, the one that's the negate for monster effects, ended on those two. Good board, really solid board.
Indeed.
I drew I had Pot of Desires in my hand. I
Mhm.
activate Pot of Desires, and I drew 2 infinite impermanents
Oh
off of the Pot
God.
of Desires. So I and I had full combo of everything already, but I just drew off of the Pot of Desires the 2 imperms I needed, and then
You're not gonna believe this, but this is actually a story that Dareinger told us too.
good.
Like he had
And we were
mentioned
like
it.
knocked out.
Yeah. Where he
We're
was
gonna
like,
go to the
you should
damn
not have
table.
won.
No, I shouldn't.
It was like I think we were talking about like anime clutch moments, and he mentioned
Yeah.
like Stormy anime clutched it. It was bad.
Yeah.
And
It
guys,
was a rip running.
guys, behold, if you're looking at the stream right now,
Oh, oh,
last piece,
oh, oh.
last piece, we made it.
You gotta bandit Keith and just smash it now.
Ba boom, baby. That is it. That is the entire Millennium Puzzle put together.
Oh, jeez.
It only took.
All right, well.
Well, thank you
go
everybody for tuning in. No, like
Now-
I suspected that this was gonna be a short one because as soon as we got to the last 7 pieces, I was like, I know exactly where those go. So, like,
Nice.
yeah, and the biggest problem with this thing, like I've mentioned time and time again, is that the sequence that things go, the pieces go in matters. So I've had to disassemble it at least 8 times because there was a piece that I forgot. So there we go, fully assembled Millennium Puzzle. It is. This means that I win every duel now just by showing up, right?
Well, yeah. Now there's gonna be Yami Seraphine.
Uh,
I fully expect, like, in your future videos, you have a split personality.
Well,
Where-
the thing is, I've always had that though, because if you'll notice, my intros are always in a different voice than the actual story. So...
Well, now there's going to be another voice to add on to that.
Yeah, I half expect it if we end up dueling on here for you at the beginning of it to just scream Yu-Gi-Oh! And then like get really deep voice and then beat the ever-loving piss out of us.
I won't let that happen. I'm going to disqualify him for using a second person. 2 people.
Now
That's,
here's something that should be mentioned is from going forward, if I get taller and my voice changes, that means you guys gotta forfeit. You know, like it's not worth being sent to the Shadow Realm, guys. I'm just saying.
I love there was one TikTok that I saw where it's just like it's a guy and he's playing like the part of Yugi and Pegasus. He's like, "Hello, Yugi boy," and he's just, "Leave me alone, Pegasus. I'm just a normal boy. I want to be a normal boy who isn't possessed by the spirit of an ancient pharaoh." And then like it goes back to Pegasus. He's just, "I've never seen that happen in real time before. And it scared the crap out of me."
God damn it! Oh, I love it. Now that the what's it called, the puzzle has been completed, I'm gonna switch to the other animation that I made. It's kind of the same thing, but it's just kind of like a placeholder, so that way we could continue with the chat until the stream is over, because I figured it was gonna be a short stream.
Stream for like 5 minutes and then just be like, "Yep, bye guys. See you never."
Yeah. Dark Horse Tail just joined us, and I guess I'm gonna switch back to the scene because we got people in the chat. Guys, the puzzle is finished. Like, if you blinked, you missed it. There was 7 pieces left, and there were pieces that from messing around with the pieces individual from the puzzle, I knew where they went. So I was like, I know that all of these pieces fit together, and then they snap into the final into the puzzle as a whole. So bada bing, bada boom. Your favorite bard is now also an ancient pharaoh. So now I'm gonna switch over to the animation that took me 3 hours to complete, because I figured we would just chat for the rest of this, since I knew it was gonna be gonna be a quick one.
Now you are possessed by the spirit of an Egyptian sorcerer.
Yeah. Now I am possessed by the spirit of a pharaoh.
Now I'm possessed. Please send help.
Please.
Do you think r/ask me anything. Do you think that a normal ass exorcist could take care of an Egyptian pharaoh possessing your body via an ancient artifact, asking for a friend?
What's it called? Dareinger, or no, sorry, Raven says, "Do you feel more like an ancient pharaoh?" Um, yes, minus all the riches. I kind of wanted to be the type of pharaoh that had servants that were fanning him with palm leaves, and that they were smothered in honey, so that way the flies would fly to them as opposed to me, who was just chilling there. Uh, if you look at Yugi Pharaoh, he seems like a more noble type of Pharaoh. I could never be trusted with that much power. Absolutely not.
The old absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Patience
okay,
says, sorry, Patience says, I'm so happy you didn't have to take it apart to finish it. The answer to that, Patience, is I actually did several times. In between streams, there was always we always came to a point where where I would feel like the pieces shifted, and then it was unstable. So I had to take it apart and then rebuild it to the place where we had left off. So in between streams, I did that every time. So what's it called? Dareinger, you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember, but I'm getting infuriated by seeing the fucking Dragoon Pass scrolling across the screen.
Look, I don't have it anymore, so it's fine.
Dylan
I
asks,
don't believe you.
I don't own Dragoon anymore. It's gone.
"What?"
Mm-hmm.
Dude, honestly, I pulled Dragoon last year on Christmas, because my sister got me a Megatin and he was in it. So
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, this is awesome. But then, as soon as I pulled it and I saw all the Dragoon hate, I was like, why is it so hated on? And I started noticing all the Predaplant combos that you could do with it, and I was like, oh, I see. And also at the time, I was like, you know what I really need? I need about $100 right now, so I just sold it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what happened. Happened the same route. I no longer own Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, mostly because I stopped. I hadn't played it because I went on to more control decks, and I don't really play Dragoon in him as much. The only one that I was playing it in was Burning Abyss, because the typical combo of it was setting anywhere between 2 to 3, summoning Beatrice and Dragoon, and then passing from there. So it was normally that was normally the combo, and then I have Cyber Dragons, which it could be okay in, but I think Verte Anaconda is still really good.
Yeah.
Even without Dragoon for Cyber Dragons, because you can just send your Overload Fusions or.
Oh yeah, Verte Anaconda is good in a lot of things, dude. 100%. A couple of questions here. Dylan says, "Why aren't you called Seraphine the Dark Magician?" I've actually, now that this is complete, I'm going to switch my intro so that instead of welcome to my campfire, I say, hello there, welcome to the Shadow Realm. And we're going to continue from there. Raven says, you didn't get the riches. Did you get the cats? Yes, I did get the cats. I have a cat named Goblin. I had him before. But these days, I've been, whenever I leave my apartment, there's a cat with a damaged ear, one eye, and no tail that follows me around. And we've taken to calling her Lucky, the one-eared, one-eyed, no-tail cat. So we're kind of, we feed her every time we see her, and I think she's adopted us as a family. So I do have the cats. PA Nightmare says, OMG, Brad is triggering drainage. Are you triggered drainage?
Yeah, no,
I did not read Brad is triggering drainage. It's all one word, so my brain was trying to figure out what the hell that said.
I want to say hi to Seth Estes. He has joined us. And Dark Horse Tale says, take it home. Yeah, Lucky actually lives on our porch now. So we have like a little we put like a little cat shelter out there for her, so that's where she lives until we can take her to a vet and have her examined and all that. Because if she's got worms, we don't want her giving those worms to Goblin. So Stormy is a nerd too, says as the Raven dreams. Do you?
Oh yeah, I am an absolute loser. That was actually what I just recently got a new job, and as I was interviewing for it, they said, "So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what are your hobbies, and like, how would you describe yourself?" And I was like, "An absolute loser." I told them all the different things that I do, the Yu-Gi-Oh, the D&D, the tabletop games, stuff like that, and I'm just like, "Yep, nope, just absolute loser."
And they even confirmed that with him. They said, "Yeah, you suck, but we're gonna hire you."
Just like, wow, yeah, no, you're right. You really do suck, but here's a job.
Oh man, I got what was it, like my boss has a daughter who's like super into anime, and so one day I walked into, this is back when we were still going to the office before we were working from home all the time, but I walk in and I'm wearing my Hero Academia t-shirt, and my boss goes like, "Oh, that's All Might," and I said, "Yes, it is." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, you like anime?" And I was like, "I do." And he's like, "Dude, my daughter is so into anime. Let me tell you about the one she's made me watch." And I was like, "Okay." So we had like this back and forth where he was telling me about Hunter x Hunter, and where he was telling me about like My Hero Academia, how much he loves All Might, and I'm like, "Yeah, he's pretty cool." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's awesome." And then he'd ask me questions like, "Well, here's the thing, why do they have such funny names?" And I'm like, "They're Japanese."
Why are their names so weird?
No, but I think what he meant is like like the translation of like their Japanese superhero names are kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think that's what he was getting at. I didn't think he was trying to be
No,
like,
I get you.
Japanese people
No,
sound weird.
I get you.
No, you misunderstood. Like, but seriously though, like I thought that's what he was saying at first too. I was like,
Yeah. Well, look at the time. I have to go water my cat. But yeah, there was a. Oh, what was it? I have lost it. MCT has it. MCT's got it. We got it.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm blanking right now. MCT must be thinking about something really hard. Yeah.
You two like tortured that poor woman. Like I'm bad. I admit that I'm like terrible, but watching you two on her stream, I felt so bad for her.
What do you mean? It's not like we were just saying nice cock to each other.
That's true. We did do that. Now every time I run into a meme where it's like, "Hey bro, nice cock," all I think about is Stormy.
One can only hope.
Whenever I see a meme, I just think nice cock, Stormy.
Just think of, wow, Stormy's got a hell of a dick.
Oh Lord. Oh.
It's just spiraling out of control already.
I would say we earned it. We've spent we've spent 5.5 hour streams struggling with geometry, which is something that after I left my sophomore year of high school, I swore I'd never do again. But here we are.
Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh against me then, because I've put linear equation cannon in every single deck I own.
Okay, so that brings us to another question that we missed last time, but I wanted to address because I think my idea is great.
Oh no.
So
if it's the fucking Dance Dance Revolution
it is
thing,
the Dance
no,
Dance Revolution thing. It is because okay, so like things like Gradius and Getsufuma and Ryukaki are all Nice cock, Ryukaki. But they're all video game properties that are owned by Konami that showed up in Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm like, hey, Konami owns Dance Dance Revolution. You could make a really solid archetype where you're playing with columns and link arrows, and it works.
All of the monsters are just like different color arrows pointing in different directions.
I gotta.
All of the link monsters are just arrows like that.
Yeah, they're just arrows. I figure
The spell and trap cards are like good, perfect, excellent.
I didn't think about that
imagine,
actually.
Imagine if like the links were like two arrows going one direction, like that actually pointed like the link arrows going down or whatnot.
Raven says Pyramid Head when. Yes, Konami also owns Silent Hill, which I feel like a Silent Hill archetype wouldn't be too far off the mark.
See,
for you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Dance Dance Revolution. I feel like I would be required to stand up and dance during the duel, and that's not allowed. It's against the rules.
You have to.
Well, I see why you would say that, but here's the thing: if it's written on the card text, you kind of have to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, what's it called? What's the one?
You have
like Yu-Jo
you
friendship.
have to present the handshake.
You have to present the handshake. Exactly. Yes. But what was I gonna say about
19 cough in your hand? You have to shake my hand now. It's like all the remote duel cards that got banned just because it's like it has some form of interaction with your opponent, having to like do something.
I mean, before COVID, I would have taken the handshake absolutely, because if I'm not mistaken, that card is beneficial to both people. I think like what happens is that both of you gain life points. I don't remember. I read it once.
Let's take a look. Let me just Yu-Jo friendship.
I got to thinking like about some of the cards that are not tournament legal. Like I think there's one from like the Zexal era where it's like you play it and then you're supposed to stand up and yell out, "I'm feeling the flow," and you win the duel or something. But it's not like a legal card.
All right, Yu-Jo friendship. Offer your opponent a handshake. If they accept your handshake, each player's life points become half the combined life points of both players. If you have unity in your hand and show it to your opponent, they must accept the handshake.
Yeah, there it is.
And then unity, select one monster on your side of the field. The defense of the selected monster becomes equal to the combined original defense of all face-up monsters on your side of the field until the end of this turn.
Yep. So like if it's in the card text, you have to accept the handshake. So like if each Dance Dance Revolution card says, one step right, two steps left foot left stomp, you
Cha-cha real slow.
Cha-cha real slow. You kind of have to.
I don't make the rules, Konami said.
Yeah, Konami said. Raven says Konami Yu-Gi-Oh would do that though and pull it off. Glowing left arrow, dim down pointing arrow, up. So I think that's something that I should mention is that Konami can get away with that, whereas something like Wizards of the Coast a lot of the times can't. Like they have their unsets where they can do crazy things. But Konami, by and large, can be crazy all the time. I mean, look at Sue ships. Like, they can be completely off the wall. I don't care. Like, high fantasy, sure. But, like, also, I want an archetype of, like, birds flying south and they meet penguins and ostriches,
Okay, I found one of the cards that I was talking about. It's called Get Your Game On. It's a continuous spell, and it reads, You can only play this card if you were present at the 2007 Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Games World Championship.
Yes.
The attack of all your elemental hero and Neospatian monsters on the field is doubled.
In the right.
I'm pretty sure there's like one for either Zexal or one of the other animes where it's like stand up and yell this and something happens. Which the something happens is everybody in the venue looks at you and wonders what the hell's wrong with you. But
oh man, slap down, get your game on. Be like, get your game on. I would.
Game on. Ah!
Like, there's got to be like a Speed World card where it's like, let's rev it up.
You're playing against like a 13-year-old and you just start yelling, get your game on in their face after activating the card.
Well, like most of the time when me and Dare play, like whenever one of us beats the other, it's almost always we do the Jaden like that's gay.
Yeah. The Jaden That's game was standard dueling protocol for me and my group also.
Yeah. It's because we're the same person, sir.
Yes, exactly. Which that means that you probably do the following also. A lot of the times, whenever we call each other, we'll be like, "Hey, bro, what are you up to?" And it's like, "Oh, nothing. Chilling out with my crew in the schoolyard." And we'll be like, "Oh, finding trouble? Never working too hard." So we do that because we are nerds.
As a wise man once said, "Ka-chow."
Ka-chow.
I hate you. I hate you, Stormy. I don't know if that be known that I hate you.
Seriously though, don't let your dreams be dreams. Absolutely, pull up on what's it called, Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. Have I told you that, Dareinger, my plan for when I go to Disney?
I believe you did, and I believe I said something along the lines of, that's not allowed. You can't do that.
Coming from you, that is a bold statement.
Idiotics Energy says hoy, and I want to say hoy.
Hoy.
You were saying that is a bold statement coming from you.
Yeah, so for those of you watching, my dream
Dareinger is my most gaslit friend.
You have, imagine me, Stormy, shaving to a mustache and going dressed in green like racing suit, going up to the Lightning McQueen at Disney, flipping him over and start screaming "Kachiga!" like right in like some kid's face.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
And then just bolt, like leave.
Yeah, just take off running. Oh my gosh, that is, yeah, like absolutely go for it. This is I am the Midnight Bard, and I approve this action.
That's gonna be the defense. I'm gonna say when I'm when I'm at court. What is the defendant's statement? Well, Seraphine, the Midnight Bard, said that it was okay for me to do and that I had full permission.
At that point, I feel like if I'm questioned on that, I'm like, well, you don't understand. You see, I'm not in control of my own actions. I am possessed by an ancient pharaoh.
It wasn't me, Seraphine, the Midnight Bard. It was Seraphine, the ancient sorcerer.
That'd be crazy. Raven asks, I'm doing all right. How about yourself? We're doing good. Oh, I think he was answering someone else. My bad. However, he asks, is Daringer's character Cyber Kaiba? The answer to that is, what's it called? Each Yu-Gi-Oh series has a different protagonist. And Dareinger here is the protagonist for Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, which is Yusaku. Yeah.
Which was the best.
Yeah. And I am the protagonist of the series that has yet to come. That should.
You were Zamboni. What was his name? Wulowski's Ace Monster.
Lebowski. Or no, Belowski. That's what it. Belowski, I think, is what it was. It was something like that, but it was a little high obelisk blue motherfucker.
He was high. He was obelisk blue, yes.
Okay.
I know that because I was looking at screen caps from the show to get Moki Moki's proportions right when I was drawing him. So, yeah, he was obelisk blue. Which running a Moki Moki deck in obelisk blue was supposed to be the top of the school. I was like, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
He kind of cheated, though. So, I mean, it's understandable how he got there with the whole knocking everyone out with some kind of weird psychosis thing.
I like that dual spirits is just psychosis.
Oh,
Jaden, Cyrus, all of them are just collectively experiencing psychosis.
As I've been rewatching Duel Monsters while at work, because work can sometimes kind of drag on, and I need something playing in the background. What's it called? There was a whole arc where all of them were talking to their dual spirits. Where Yugi kept talking to Karibo, and Taya had Dark Magician Girl, and so on. Serenity.
The virtual arc thing.
Yes.
Where fucking Tristan gets turned into Acrobat Monkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
They ever do that?
That was the best arc.
Here's the thing. You don't realize how long Duel Monsters as a series is until you're trying to, marathon through it. I was like, holy cow, there is a lot of filler arcs in this story.
Right?
Like, they took a break from Battle City to put an entire arc in the middle of it.
And we don't usually recognize that arc because it was not good.
Yeah, no, no.
Introduced Kaiba
after. It's like the arc after Battle City. We don't recognize that one either because it was also bad. Why did Siegfried have an accent, but his little brother spoke perfect English with no accent?
Oh, that's true. I just started watching that one, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now. He's the one with the little brother that for some reason spoke English.
You missed last night at Local, Stormy. We had a solid hour and a half where we were just complaining about everything in all of the Yu-Gi-Oh series that were just wrong.
Like a what?
Shouldn't have happened. What? You cut out?
Like what, for example?
The fact that you were able to use a equip spell to take a zombie normal monster, shoot it into a dragon, which causes the dragon to start dying and corrupting, and then you can just use Monster Reborn to revive that dragon.
Right. I thought we were talking about things like, for example, why was Crow not a better duelist using Black Wings, which were really strong for the time, and which the same argument can be.
We want to go with that. Why were all the side characters in Vrains as bad as they were?
I was gonna say.
You had what was it?
You had Trickstar, Salmon Great, and Goki, and they all got their asses kicked.
Altergeist was what got fucked so much.
4 of the side characters have 4 of the meta decks, and they were all bad.
Idiotic Synergy says, what happens if you accidentally use Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a game of blackjack? You suddenly say, hit me, and summon an unexplainable entity. I do that all the time. Any card game we're going to play, I'm adding infinite impermanence because that is just a good trap to run.
I gotta see if I can find the picture.
Well, clearly, what you have to do is slip a blue eyes white dragon into your Uno deck.
Okay,
You'll
so
never
the
see
story knows what I'm going for then.
There was a whole YouTube video, and I'll have to share the link. But it's like this animation somebody did was like, what happens when you invite Yugi over to play poker?
Oh
And
yeah, I saw that.
you saw that, yeah, and like all of a sudden, like regular poker terms are becoming Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. Like like, oh, this
Yeah.
is my full house, and I was like, oh my god. You can't stand up to my royal flush or like my three of a kind, and I'm like, god damn.
Yeah, every time that I'm playing Uno, like I always refer to the Uno reverse card as Magic Cylinder. Um,
Right back at you.
yeah, I activate Magic Cylinder, especially because we've started playing with what we like to call bastard rules, where specials in general can stack, like special cards that aren't numbers can stack on each other. And say, for example, somebody activates a +2, like that's a blue +2. If you have a +2, it can add on like normal. But if you have a blue like skip or reverse, it does that appropriate thing. Say if you skip, it skips to the next person, or if you activate a reverse, it sends it back to the person who activated the card.
Yeah.
Who played the +2. So now that we do it like that, literally every time somebody has it, they do a plus on it. It's just I activate Magic Cylinder, which sends your attack right back at you.
It hasn't it been a thing recently where Uno has been trying to clear up a lot of their rules on their Twitter, and everybody's just mad because like that's not how we've been playing it, Uno. We think we would know the game better than you.
Well, the medallion says that's dumb, so we're not going to do that.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, like, you can make the game, but people make of it what they will. So I mean, like at this point, I think Uno would just be like, you know what, the way that you've been playing it, that's exactly the right way, and we're just gonna update our rule book. I think Konami should let me do that because I want to be able to summon my level 5 monsters and up without tributing. I think tributing is dumb.
And we should be able to draw 5 cards each turn, and we should be able to summon as many times as we want.
Yeah.
Is that not what Sevens does?
That is the premise of Sevens, and I don't like it.
I want to be able to do this, but I hate it.
Yeah, but I hate it. Oh, it is beautiful. I don't know, like, what's it called? Idiotic Synergy says Ubisoft managed to crash Uno with an update, and it looks like Raven said that also. Those are house rules, bro, and they're the right rules regardless of what they say.
Right.
Yeah. So, like if Ubisoft wants to say that, or is it Ubisoft or who makes Uno?
The video or the game version of it is Ubisoft.
Okay. I was about to say, like, wait a minute, I didn't know Ubisoft made like card games.
Yeah.
Well, I've been playing Uno this way for 20 years. Let's see how long Ubisoft's been playing Uno. I think I'm the one that has more knowledge on how to play, so.
Yes. I was going to say, like, the company didn't get involved until recently, if that, so. But, I don't know. I've been thinking about getting, like, the Rush Duel game for Switch, just to see, like, if Rush Duel is something that I would get into.
The only thing about Rush Duels that I think is, like, remotely interesting is the fact that they have monsters that... It's kind of like Exodia.
Yes.
Where there's, like, multiple pieces to the monster, and you can summon them all out and make the big monster kind of like if you were to get all 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand.
Yeah, and that's something that I was kind of like telling a friend of mine a while back. I was like, you know what's weird? That Exodia is the only monster that works the way it does. Like I bet you, like, you could make a whole series of monsters that are like that. That you have multiple pieces, but that have lesser effects. Like I don't know, like if you pull all three pieces of I don't know something lesser, like the Exodia, the limited one, um, you could prevent your opponent from special summoning more than twice that turn. Like pull a wind effect or something like that. And then Sevens came along and did the thing, and I was like, oh well, yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
I could see if they were to implement that in the actual game, it would either be extremely broken or it'd be the next Gemini mechanic.
Yeah, because
Because in one way of looking at it, you're getting three monsters on the field for a link summon or a XCs or like an extra deck mechanic, and the other way is you're getting three vanillas that don't really do anything, and they're just breaking up your hand.
okay, it looks like I'm experiencing some errors with the stream. It says that we're like that my connection isn't that strong. Uh,
Yeah, you've been cutting in and out of it.
okay, so in that case, let's go ahead and call it here. That way, we don't subject everyone to a choppy stream. But
And on our own terms.
and on our own terms. But at the very least, you know what? The puzzle is finished. It is 100% awesome, and I'm very excited to have done this with you guys. And yeah.
Oh yeah.
So thank you to everybody for checking us out. And did you guys want to say bye to everybody here?
Thank you for having me. As always, I love being on with you all. And hopefully everybody has a good night.
Yes. Have a great
Yeah.
night.
Bye to everybody except for Raven. You're a stinky bird, and I love you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming by.
Raven does ask, fun times, what's next? We'll discuss that with Raven later on. But
Oh yeah.
as for now, we must bid adieu, and remember, something deep and insightful.
Mountain Dew is a great drink.
Mountain Dew is a great drink. Adios, everybody.
Only you can prevent forest fires.